All right, my friend. Let's kick this off with a topic that's got everyone talking Dak Prescott and his legs. Yeah, you heard that right. QB1 is making it clear. In 2025, he wants to keep being a mobile quarterback. No, he's not saying he's turning into Lamar Jackson or anything like that. But he is saying that movement, whether it's breaking the pocket or just buying a little extra time, is still a huge part of his game. And that's something that could change everything for the Cowboys this season. Dak said it himself. When he's at his best, he's mobile. It's not about putting himself at risk unnecessarily. It's about making smart decisions, whether that's scrambling for a few yards or creating space to hit a receiver downfield. And honestly, that's the Dak fans fell in love with. The one who came out of Mississippi State with that dual threat mindset. Somewhere along the way, coaching staffs tried to mold him into more of a traditional pocket passer. But let's be real, Dak's game has always thrived on unpredictability, improvisation, and controlled aggression. And now, he's getting back to it. He mentioned that part of his recovery from that hamstring injury involved more running. That got him back into the rhythm of using his legs again, and he made it clear he plans to keep that going, just in a smarter, more calculated way. Let me ask you this, do you want to see Dak using his legs more this season? Vote right now in our poll. Should Dak run more in 2-5, yes or no? And drop a comment below. What's your favorite Dak run of all time? Was it the game winner against Atlanta? Or maybe the clutch scramble against Seattle in the playoffs? Also, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want to keep up with every move the Cowboys make, don't forget subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Your support means the world and helps us push toward our goal of hitting 13,000 subscribers. We're growing fast, and it's all thanks to you. Now, we've talked about Dak's mobility. But next, we're diving into something a little more controversial, his injury history. Is it fair to call Dak injury-prone? He doesn't think so. And after hearing his side of the story, you might agree with him. Let's get into that. Okay, let's talk about something that's followed Dak for a while now, and no, it's not about interceptions. I'm talking about that injury-prone label. You've probably heard it thrown around by fans, analysts, and even on social media. But Dak, he's had enough of that narrative, and he came out swinging in this interview. Dak was firm. He said the injuries he's had weren't because he's fragile or reckless. They were football plays, collisions, contact, accidents. And when you actually look at the timeline, it makes sense. The major ankle injury, that was a freak play, an awkward tackle that could have happened to anyone. The thumb, it happened while following through on a pass. And the hamstring, that was on a run, sure, but again, nothing out of the ordinary for a mobile quarterback. So the question is it really fair to call him injury-prone just because he's had a few tough breaks? Or are we holding him to an impossible standard just because he's the face of the franchise? Here's the thing. Dak isn't ducking the past. He's not pretending those injuries didn't happen. But what he is saying is that they don't define him. He's trained differently. He's taken care of his body in ways most people don't see. And he's got the mindset of a guy who refuses to let one or two setbacks write his story. And you? Where do you stand on this? Let's open up the conversation question for you. Do you consider Dak injury-prone? Why or why not? And vote in the poll right now. Which injury worried you most, his ankle, his thumb, or the hamstring? And while you're here, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're building a real community of Cowboys fans here, and your support helps us bring more content like this straight to you. All right, so Dak's putting the injury-prone talk to rest. But that's just part of the story. Coming up next, we're diving into the offensive side of things because Dak had a lot to say about his new offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer. And spoiler alert, he's all in. Let's shift gears now and talk about something that could define the entire Cowboys season in 2025, the man calling the plays, Brian Schottenheimer. Now, if you were expecting Dak to be cautious or diplomatic when talking about the new offensive coordinator, think again. He's not just on board, he's excited. Dak made it clear that the communication between him and Schottenheimer is different. It's clearer, more focused. There's a real plan in place, and he feels like everyone's finally speaking the same language on offense. That alignment, it matters. Because if you've followed the Cowboys over the last few years, you know inconsistency in play calling has been a major issue. Schottenheimer brings a more structured, detail-oriented approach, and Dak is buying in completely. He said that for the first time in a while, he feels like the offense is being built with him, not just around him. That means they're crafting plays that lean into what he does best, using tempo, mobility, and smart reads to take control of the game. And if you're wondering whether this new offensive identity could unlock the next level for Dak, well, he is too, but in a good way. There's a sense of curiosity and hunger in his words. You can tell he's ready to make this work. So here's a quick question for you. Do you trust Brian Schottenheimer to lead this offense the right way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is going to change most under his leadership? And don't forget, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. We're on the road to 13,000 subscribers, and your support is what keeps this show running. Now, speaking of leadership, Dak didn't just talk about the offense. He also had some strong words about the heart of the defense, Micah Parsons. And in the next chapter, you'll hear what advice he gave him about stepping up and leading the locker room. All right, now let's dive into a moment that really stood out in Dak's interview, his thoughts on Micah Parsons. Not just as a player, but as a leader. Dak spoke with a lot of honesty and admiration when talking about Micah. He sees something in him that goes beyond talent. According to Dak, Micah has the potential to be the voice of the defense, the kind of leader who sets the tone not just on game day, but every day in the locker room. And here's what's interesting. Dak said he's had real conversations with Micah about leadership, not about being loud or showy, but about being consistent, being accountable, and most of all, being present when it matters most. Dak knows the weight of that responsibility. He's carried it for years. And now he's passing some of that wisdom down to the young star. But it's not just about locker room speeches. There's also the contract talk, right? Everyone knows Mike is in line for a massive deal. And Dak didn't shy away from that. He acknowledged that the business side can be distracting, but he urged Micah to keep being himself, keep playing at an elite level, and let the rest handle itself. That kind of mentorship, it's huge. It tells you a lot about where this team is heading and how much trust Dak has in the next generation of leaders. So here's something I want to hear from you. Do you already see Micah as the true leader of the Cowboys' defense? Vote in the poll and let me know in the comments. If you could give Micah one piece of advice for his future in Dallas, what would it be? And hey, if you've been enjoying the breakdown so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's grow this community and hit that 13,000 mark together. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up with Dak's take on who else is stepping up behind the scenes, and one name in particular might surprise you. To close things out, let's talk about something that doesn't always make headlines but might just make or break the Cowboys' season. Locker room leadership. Dak Prescott wasn't vague when asked about the future of the team. He pointed to a clear shift happening behind the scenes, a changing of the guard, where new voices are starting to emerge. And one of those voices, Osa Odigizua. Yeah, that's right. The defensive tackle who's been grinding quietly for the past few seasons is now stepping up as a leader. Dak said Osa's the kind of guy who leads by example. He shows up early, works hard, and holds others accountable. And that kind of presence is exactly what this team needs right now. But Osa isn't the only one. According to Dak, there's a wave of younger players who are no longer just trying to prove themselves, they're trying to lead. Guys who've been in the system long enough to understand what it takes. And now they're ready to shape the culture. Dak's message is clear. This team can't rely on the same few voices anymore. If they're going to make a real push this season, everyone has to take ownership on and off the field. And that includes embracing roles that go beyond what happens on Sundays. So, here's where I want your opinion. Who do you think will step up as that silent leader Dak was talking about? Let's talk in the comments. Drop the 3 Cowboys players who inspire you the most with their leadership. And hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Your support keeps this community growing, and we're counting on you to help us reach our goal of 13,000 subscribers. That wraps up today's video, but stick around, we've got more exclusive Cowboys content coming your way real soon.